the HIV and AIDS conference that took place at Amsterdam this year. First of all, we are very happy it took place because HIV and AIDS is a very big thing that has affected most of the LGBTQ, excuse me, LGBTQ communities, and also the non-LGBTQ communities in the world, and most especially in Africa. And we're so happy that the world can take time to go and focus on HIV issues and how to eradicate HIV in the world. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is I'm analyzing it because I was seeing a lot of discussion about it on Facebook, but from many angles. Some people were not, of course, some people were not happy, and that's within the communities that are helping the HIV scourge to be reduced and eradicated. And but for me, I want to give my view. I'm happy it took place, and I have got to understand. I've come to a place whereby I'm no longer, I think I'm no longer very combative about very many issues. It's because I am understanding the structure of issues. So my combat, I used to be very combative in my LGBTQ activism, and what happened those days, I would look at things differently. You know, when you're combative, when you're on the combat, you are more militaristic, more forceful and stuff. And now I'm more rested. I just look at things and I see them in different way, because like now how I see the HIV fight, we are all involved. We are all important. I have embraced the principle of uniqueness and the principle of diversity. And those are the principles that I treasure in my heart right now. And when you treasure uniqueness, what it means, everybody, especially if it is for a cause, everybody is unique, and therefore everybody is important. There is nobody who is not important. There is nobody who is useless. Everybody is useful, and especially for a cause like in the HIV fight. Those who have HIV are very important to us. Those who have AIDS are very important to us. Those who do not have HIV and AIDS are also very important to us. Those activists who went to represent those communities at the conference in Amsterdam are very important to us. Those who could not go, the caregivers, because there are some who are bedridden with HIV, they are very important to us. And those who don't even know their status and they do have HIV and AIDS, they also are important to us, because each of them plays a role in the whole system. That's what importance means. You know, we live in a world of 7 billion people, and people would assume because we're 7 billion and I cannot fathom 7 billion in my head, even if one person dies, it means nothing. But it does mean something. It will affect, because the person who dies could be a breadwinner. The person who dies can affect somebody who, like if it's your child who dies, it can affect you. And if you're not careful, it can affect you psychologically, which will affect you economically. You won't be able to work. So that all of these things, we are all connected. And I believe in societal singularity. much as I believe in technological singularity. And we are supposed to learn to be together as one and understand each other as one. Now, it's just not a long video, it's just to say thank you and my view that because I saw somebody say something and I just wanted to respond to it. Like they were wondering why do they not recognize the caregivers and the people who work in the grassroots. And I was like, okay, maybe what they can do in the next conference is acknowledge the work of the grassroots caregivers. But I also got to know there's a reason why. There's a lot of stigma. Stigma still surrounds HIV and AIDS issues. And despite the presence of stigma, it cannot stop us from talking the issues that HIV AIDS exist. It cannot stop um, people like Elton John from funding measures and care. I'm so impressed. Even I want to say thank you to Sir Elton John and Prince Harry, very nice, handsome prince who got married this year to Meghan Markle. We want to say thank you to them for caring not just for HIV patients, but for men who have sex with men. That is a very commendable move. It's a gesture to show people that indeed men are really suffering the scourge of HIV, and especially homosexual men or men who have sex with men. And that's very good. It's very important. It's happening all the because sex is universal. Who said sex is only done by Westerners? Who said sex is only done by black people? No, everybody has sex. Everybody has their feelings, and therefore everybody is at risk. You see, we that's why there are these organizations. There's an organization I know. It's called Most at Risk Persons, and I like the name. It's Most at Risk, meaning everybody's at risk at getting HIV. Everybody. That's why I am not supporter of. I do not support laws that punish, that criminalize people with HIV. Yes, I do not. Especially those who had consenting sex with somebody. No. You the other person who was negative and claims he got the virus from that person had a chance to tell the person, had a chance to know. They, when, why do we say consenting age? Because when you've reached a consenting age, you understand what can happen when you have sex with somebody. Both the negative and the positive is why there's consenting age. Otherwise, there would be chaos in the world. People would be having sex with anything and anyone. And it's wrong. You can't have sex with everyone because some people have not reached the consenting age, meaning they don't understand. They don't understand that the negative effects of sex and the positive effects. That's why I'm very happy with Netherlands. Netherlands is teaching children about sex. And they should even teach them what happens if you have unprotected sex. Yes. Because you know what? Teenagers are also having sex. And if a teenager has HIV, he can spread HIV. What are you going to do? Are you going to arrest that teenager? Yeah. Are you going to arrest the teenager? You can't. And that's the issue. Imagine if teens are spreading HIV amongst themselves and then they have not reached the consenting age of sex, but they have sex because it's the nature of children. They will have sex. So what are we going to do? So that's why there is no sense in criminalizing HIV. People, I don't support it at all. Everybody, especially those who have, if you are engaged in consenting sex, all of you are. You guys are together. And so That was just my take on that. But other than that, there's the stigma, of course, churches and religious centers, they still, people believe that when you have HIV, you cannot, it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Yes, you just have it. Just have it. Just take medication. I mean, right now, HIV science is so strong. It is doing well. Progress is being made because people are even undetectable. People who take ARTs, are in ART or ARVs, they are now undetectable. They can't transmit the virus at all. It's weird. Why is this happening? It's because these people got to know their status early, HIV status. They took medication very well. And this medication is, its purpose is to build an immune system so that even if the virus comes in, you will not be affected or infected because the body will fight, it will fight off the virus. HIV is an omnibus AR, we can deal with it. Even hopefully the vaccine that is being planned for, it will be an omnibus vaccine whereby no strain will have, they have studied the number of strains of HIV that exist. So that's done. Now, once you've done that, now form an omnibus ARV regime or whatever. Even right now, HIV is finished. Yes, as we speak, genetic editing. Yes, genetic editing has killed HIV. By the way, that's the good news that people do not know. It's because people don't understand genetics that well. So it's still taking time to soak in. Secondly, genetic editing is not so common in very many countries. But the moment it will be, my friend, it's done. All you do is just go delete HIV from the genetic system because HIV is a genetic disease. It is a genetic disease. So when you treat the gene and you delete the infected gene, you've killed it because HIV replicates itself. You see how we grow. Why do we grow? We grow because we have regenerative cells. Regene. See, the gene is what carries the instructions of life. I never used to have beards when I was 3 years old. Now they've come. Why? Because that instruction was in the gene. It was in the gene. And it is in the gene. My genes have instructed that when I reach this certain age, my beards will appear. And I'm also balding. So the instruction was you'll bald at a certain age. When I was young, I didn't think I was going to bald. Yeah. And next thing will be there's instructions for every time as long as you're alive in this world. When I reach 100 years old, there will be an instruction that will be put in effect that something will happen. Maybe teeth fall off and all of these things. But if you are a progressive and an active health agent of your body, you can actually stop aging. Yes, you can stop aging. And you reach 100 and you are fine. Look at Jane Fonda. Look at Dolly Parton. I was seeing they're going to have a series and I was impressed. Dolly Parton is still looking young. Jane Fonda is still looking young. Of course, I know Jane Fonda has been keeping young because of exercise. But Dolly Parton, I know which exercise she's been doing, but if it's plastic surgery and whatever, it's fine. Do what you want to do. It's your life. If you want to stay on and you don't want to look old when you reach 100, do what you want to do. Of course, that in China they eat good food. Their food is, I like the fact they steam most of their things. And yeah, you need, of course, another thing you should also understand is genetics. That's the most important thing. Some people are genetically prone to grow old faster than others. It's a given. So you may even eat Chinese food, but if your genes were not made for that, sorry, you'll just you'll just have to live like that. But thankfully, genetic editing is on, genetic, and it's working more. For the younger you are, the better, because they're even now making embryos that are resistant to all diseases of the world. So we're going to have children and people who are born resistant to HIV, resistant to cancer, resistant to other things. And I want to see how long they're going to live. Of course, the only problem is some of us may not live to see these people living very long. So that's the only catch 22 issue they have catch 22, because if a boy or a girl is born today and they have the embryo is cancer resistant and is HIV resistant, that means they will live for long, isn't it? But I, who has made this thing, the scientist, I will only have 30 years to live. Maybe I only have 30 years to live. So by the time the 30 years is done, I will not see this guy live for long. So he has to work hard to also think like me. To If by the time he's 18, he finds the secret to save humankind, for men to live forever, then I'll be so happy that wow, this kid grew up just to save my life, and now I'm able to see all of us, not only him but also me, to live forever. So that's what we are. We're in a very wonderful time of the world, and I just wanted to say, we are all in this fight together, all of us in the HIV eradication, even including those who are infected and those who are living with AIDS. Live positively, be positive. It is life, it's part of life. Don't be so angry with yourself, don't be so angry with people that you are infected. It's part of life. When you have when you are when you're involved in sex, even, you can also get HIV without sex. So that's why you should be very accepting when things happen to you in life. Yeah, there are many children who are born and they didn't know their parents were infected and they had it. Yes, it happens. And so you just have to be accepting and live positively. And for those who are negative and are living with positive people, or know people who are positive, accept them, love them, and learn, read, sit down and read. I am even going to do my refresher on HIV, because a lot has happened and I want to put it properly. And yes, I have to, because it's progressive. The beauty of science is it is progressive. It is getting better and better. And the more you read, the more you understand. You see, if you don't want to have stigma, if you don't want to be homophobic or biphobic, study. Study about homosexuality. Read. Don't read the Bible. The Bible is not the book for that. It was written by people who didn't know. Because had they known, they wouldn't have written those verses. Yes. Moses wrote things. The only thing you could argue that they knew was maybe incest, because incest was already happening. And even homosexuality was happening, but they didn't like it. You see, homosexuality is not about me. If you are somebody who is homophobic or you don't have homosexual sex, what why bother with someone who is having it? For what? Let them do it. It's not, you don't want to do it. It's like eating pizza. Some people don't want to eat pizza. Good. Don't eat it. Let that guy who wants to eat pizza eat. Simple mathematics. Oh, so annoying. So annoying. Just being with people who they just get on your nerves for nothing. So anyway, That's how HIV is, and I'm more positive than negative. Of course, there is an article that is a bit negative that's out there. I'm not so much for it. I am happy the science is helping HIV be eradicated, even if on the negative side, people are still not doing tests. They still not go and they still don't want to do the things. But I'm telling you guys, it is the positive side that is winning, because negative people are taking PrEP, they are having sex with positive people. I'm even very happy those preppers who sleep with positive people, and they go and they do their checkup and they are still negative. That is that's the beauty. You see, we all need each other. The only way you can know PrEP is working is when you relate with positive people, HIV positive people. How will you know PrEP is working and all that is happening, the PrEP person is sleeping with a negative? There isn't. It makes no sense. You are supposed to engage with the HIV positive person. And we find out and we do studies, and by the end of the year, we now come out with studies, those who were adhering to PrEP and they engaged with people who are positive. You see? They will. Then you find these guys are still negative. They say, good. It's a sign that PrEP works. That's why the articles that are saying PrEP works are based on fact. They are not talking nonsense. They are not hyping. It's not propaganda. It is fact. And now these facts will prove the basis for the HIV vaccine, which once it comes in, those who are negative will be able to now engage with whoever is positive, irrespective. That's why if you are negative, you need to know, please, you should be the first person to go for the vaccine, so that now your life is set. And you, because the positive people are also getting better, they are going to the undetectable, and meanwhile the negatives are being protected by the vaccine. Voila, my vision 2030 is there. It's coming. 2040, 2050, it better come while I'm alive. Whereby in my phone, I had shared my dream where we can have sexual bliss, forever. LGBTQ vision, LGBT double QIAAP, whereby you can have fun and you're not worried about the diseases. Because of all STDs, it is HIV that's the worst, because it's terminal, it's for life. So that's why we really fight it. The others can be treated. Of course, we still have a problem with things like herpes and the what's it called? This thing. What's this other one? I'm forgetting its name. Hepatitis B. Though there's a vaccine for that one, so that one is not an issue. Anything where there's a vaccine, it's okay. But where there's no vaccine, that's where we need to deal with help. But it's positive all the way. We are dealing with HIV thanks to science and technology. Let us read and let us know. Of course, the only thing I'll tell the conference people to do is next time they can give us the champions, the women, men and women who are taking care of people who have HIV. That will kill stigma. You can have an award ceremony. Of course, I didn't follow everything, but they can just go and check and say this is the person who really stood up for it. Yes, and took care of people. Yes, people, you should congratulate people, couples, families, countries. Yes, countries that hire people. You have HIV, but you're hired. It's a shame that people can't hire someone who has HIV. Yes, it's a shame. It's like saying you can't hire a disabled person. So, there we are. The world is going higher and higher. Remember the song from Shaka Zulu? It is my song of the moment of the season. We are going higher and higher. And that's what we're going to do till we leave the world.